Are we working? Are we live? I hope so. I have to keep hopping backwards and forwards. Who is on? If you are on, just give me a little wave so I can see who is here. Make sure it's working. Where can I see? Kerry, hi Kerry. Thank you, at least I'm working. Oh, this has been an interesting setup. Siren, hi. I just let a few more people join. I've had a few people ask me how to do it. Just while we're letting more people join, maybe if you've got a cushion. So I mentioned about a block. This is a block. You don't need a block. You don't have to have a block. But a blanket rolled up will be fine. A cushion, a pillow, just a book, something just to lift you. And I'll show you how we're going to use it in a second. Let me just come back here, see who else we've got. Just having a look here. I'm so new to Facebook Live. This is the first time I have ever used it. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes and we will start. Who else we've got? Oh, I can't see. So I'll just give it a couple more moments to see who else we've got joining. So the camera might go in and out of focus a little bit as I'm moving, but once I settle down, it should be fine. Great, we've got a few more people coming now. If you could pop a comment there, that would be great so I can see. I can see people joining, but I can't see who now. Just pop me a comment in the comments so I can see who else is joining. If you've got any questions before we start, just ask away. I hope everyone's feeling ready for this morning. I know I am, desperately needing to move. Hopefully, Fiona Trapp, have you managed to get yourself on? Seems to have slowed a little bit. I'm just going to wait a few more moments, see who else comes online. I don't know, someone can send me a comment, then I can see if the comments are working. No, there we go, I've got a few more likes here. I can see a few more people join. Just send me a comment. If anyone can send me a comment, then I can just see that you can still hear me. I hope. A few more people. There we go. Did I see Ben? I think. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Looks like we're working. So I'm going to get started. Hopefully you can hear me all right. When I settle down now, it should come back into focus. There we go. So, hi, I'm Emma. Welcome to Fast Flow. Today's not going to be that fast, but eventually we'll move a lot quicker with the breath. I am a yoga teacher and a personal trainer, and I am Mark's sister. Yoga came into my life when my life was a little bit uncertain, and it's been with me ever since. And I hope through this yoga practice, through the 20-minute sessions, I can create a safe haven for you to just move with the breath and find a little bit of stillness amidst all the uncertainty that's going on in the world at the moment. So these are life skills, and I'm trying to use them now to calm myself, because this is the first time I've been on Facebook Live. I've got 4 things I want to say before we start. First of all, go slowly, move mindfully. If there's something that doesn't feel right, move out of it. You don't have to stay in the posture for long. I will stop and start a little bit today so you can get a little bit familiar with the posture. Some of them you'll know anyway. Yoga is not about being good. You do not have to be good at yoga. The yoga is not in the posture. The yoga is in being fully present in that posture. And that is harder. Like, we can muscle ourselves up into handstands and things like that. but can you be fully present with your breath whilst doing that, and not just the end result, but getting into the posture, which will become a little bit clearer as we go. Adapt, adapt, adapt. If something doesn't feel right, please change it. So if you have any problems with your knees or your back, I can't see any of you doing this. So it's down to you. And that really, again, there is the yoga. It's not in the posture. It's about how you approach the posture. So if there's something that doesn't feel right, change it, sit out of it, and then join back in when you feel ready. Equipment-wise, I mentioned about a block. You don't have to have a block, but if you've got one, that's great. If not, you can use a cushion or a pillow, just rolls up. I've got a strap today, but you don't need it today. A belt or a tie would work absolutely fine as well. So we're going to get started. You don't need any of those things right now. We're going to start off by lying down. So with your mat, you don't even need a mat. You can do it on the floor, but if you've got a mat, that's great. If you don't want to lie down, you can do it sitting on a chair. But otherwise, just come down to the mat. So you can either start with your legs about mat width apart and let your knees just touch, or you can start with your legs out straight. And just bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. So you don't have to look at me through all of this in the camera. So I'm going to try and talk a little bit as you lie back, and just close your eyes and come to your breath. So in yoga, we move through each posture from one to the other with the breath. And then once we're in the posture, we find stillness. And I think that's a much needed quality right now. So abdominal breathing. As you inhale, your belly and chest rise. And as you exhale, your belly and chest fall. So just continue there. Take a couple more breaths. Just noticing the rise and fall of your chest and belly. As you inhale, let your chest and belly rise. As you exhale, let your chest and belly fall. And just notice how quick or how slow your breaths are this morning. Just notice in your body if you're holding any tension, maybe in the feet, maybe in the fingers, maybe in the face. And just let yourself settle on your mat or on the floor. Just take 2 more breaths. You can either close your eyes here or you can keep your eyes open. And then on your next inhale, take your hands overhead. Stretch your feet out long. And then pull your right knee in. So with your hands, you can just cup your knee and pull the knee in towards your right shoulder. We're just going to bring some movement into the ankle. So take a couple of circles with your right ankle. Take a little bend through your left leg. And then extend your right leg up to the ceiling. If you can't hold it, just let go. If you can hold it, take hold behind the thigh. And just point and flex your right foot. A couple of times, just bringing some movement through the back of your right leg. And then pop that leg down, stretch really long. And then do the same on the left. Hug the left leg in towards the left shoulder. Make some circles with your right foot. With your left foot, sorry. And then bend your right leg. Take your left leg up. And then point and flex your left foot. Couple of times, and then drop that leg back down. Stretch out really long, and then hug both knees back in. This is called reclined child's pose. And just take a couple of circles with your knees, just loosening off your lower back. And then we've got 2 ways to get up. If you are not feeling too energetic, you can just roll to the side and lift yourself up. If you're feeling a little bit more energetic, take a couple of rocks up and down a couple of times until you come to seated. So this is where you need your block or your pillow, and I'll use my on my blanket today. I'm just going to pop it underneath your bottom, and that's just going to tip your hips forwards a little bit. So from there, you can either sit with your legs crossed, or you can sit with your legs out if you have any knee trouble. So legs crossed or legs out, and just come to seated again. Just let your hands just rest on your knees. I started today with lying down because it's easier to make space for the diaphragm when you're laying on the floor. When you're upright, if you haven't got something propping you up, you might end up a little rounded. And in that case, your diaphragm's a little bit squished. So lift up tall, relax your shoulders, sit on the block or your blanket, and just let your shoulders relax. Take one more breath. On your next inhale, if you had your eyes closed, blink them open, reach your hands up tall, and then bring your hands back down to your chest. Exhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands back down. And this is the first part of just moving with the breath. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your chest. Just drop your forehead to your fingers and round your back. And then lift your hands up behind your head, draw your elbows up, up, up towards the ceiling. And then come back upright. Take your left hand down and your right hand is going to reach over. And reach away, extending down the whole of your right side. Take a couple of breaths there. And then round forwards a little bit. Let your upper back round. Bring your hand towards your knee. And then inhale, open back up. One more time. Exhale, round. Inhale, open back up. And then lift. And change sides. Take your other hand down, reach up. Lean over. And then take a breath or two there. And then round a little. And then inhale, open up. Exhale, round again. And then inhale, open back up. Lift. And then we're going to come off your block or your bolster. And you're going to come onto all fours. So take your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. And then here, just start to cat and cow. So cat, cow. Cat as you push your back up, and cow as you drop your belly towards the floor. Round your back, and then belly towards the floor. And do that a couple more times, linking the movement with your breath. Exhale, round. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, look forward. 2 more times. Exhale, round. And inhale, look forward. Perfect. From there, just come back. Take the knees back a touch. And then make some circles. Go all the way around and all the way forward. And don't worry too much here about moving with the breath. Just for this one, just make some circles. Bring some movement through your spine. And then pause. So from here, I'm going to round your back. Keep your arms straight. And let your hips drop a little bit towards the floor. And then exhale, push back. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, push back. 2 more times. Forward. And then back. And then pause. So down dog. I'm just going to talk through down dog for a second. I said I was going to stop and start. So down dog is kind of a staple in a lot of yoga classes, but it's not necessarily that easy. So I'm going to give you 2 options. If down dog really is not okay for you, you can take a half dog. Your head just rests on the floor, your knees rest on the floor. Down dog, you lift your hips and you take your seat bones up towards the ceiling. Now, if you are happy in down dog, stay there in down dog and just walk your feet. If that is not okay for you, bring your knees down and bring your forehead down. So whichever one feels best, take that one now and just walk your feet. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. And once you're at the top of the mat, just hang there. Let your head hang. Just hang like a rag doll. Let all the tension melt from your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then start to uncurl. Slowly, slowly, slowly up to standing. So sun salutations. Again, this is a staple in a lot of yoga classes. We're going to go through 3 today. I'm going to offer some modifications in the first one, and in the second 2, I'll make them a little bit, not advanced, but without the modifications. So bring your feet underneath you, about hip width. Bring your hands to your chest. If you don't have space at home to go wide, just keep your hands moving forwards and back. So bring your hands to your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, take your hands to your shins and look forward. And then step both feet back, drop the knees. Lower your chest to the floor. And then on your inhale, lift into cobra. And then exhale, half dog. Forehead to the floor. And then rest there for 3 breaths. So take your half dog and take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, lift and walk your feet towards your hands, fold, and then inhale, come to standing, and exhale, bring your hands back to your chest. We're going to do 2 more, and if at first you don't feel like you're flowing with the breath, or you're finding it challenging to keep up because you're looking at at your laptop or what have you, and then trying to do your postures, don't worry for today. Just keep moving, and eventually it will become more familiar, and then it will become very meditative. So, number 2, inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Step both feet back, lower your knees, and then lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, this time, half dog or down dog, your choice. 3 full breaths. Breathing 1. Breathing 2. One more breath. And then when you're ready, just walk your feet to your hands. Fold. And then inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands back down to your chest. Last round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, look forward. Take both feet back. Lower to the floor. Cobra. And down dog or half dog, your choice. 3 breaths. Breathing 1. Just creating length through your back body, length through the backs of your legs. Breathing 2. And when you're ready, just walk your feet back up. And inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands back to your chest. Just close your eyes there, just take a breath. And then blink your eyes open. So step your left foot back. This is called Warrior 2. Your left foot is going to be turned in ever so slightly, so not outwards, slightly inwards. And then bend your front knee. So Warrior 2 is really good for building some strength in the legs, but also creating external rotation, so both sides are rolling out. The front foot is facing forward, above your ankle. And with the torso, your hips are central. If you're leaning forward, you're going to start to load the front leg. If you're leaning back, you're going to start to load the back leg. So find somewhere very central, and your torso, shoulders are just sitting over your hips. Take your hands out, and then relax your shoulders. Keep your gaze over your middle finger. And take 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath. Pop your left hand on your back thigh. Turn your palm on your right hand and reach up and back. This is reverse warrior. And now we're creating length down the right side. So just breathe there. And inhale, lift back up. Reach forward and take your right elbow to your right knee. This is side angle. And your knee is moving out, but at the same time, so your elbow is moving your knee out, but at the same time, gently push your knee back in. So it's going to create a little bit of a push-pull. And then find somewhere that's just comfortable that you can hold. So there's no pushing, no pulling. What we're trying to avoid is the knee rolling in and the knee excessively rolling out, so that the hips can be somewhere in line with the knee. And take your left hand, pop it on your hip. If that feels okay, take your left hand and sweep it past your ear. Have any shoulder issues here? Keep your hand on your hip. And now, as I said before, it's finding the breath in the posture. So just breathe there. You can look straight ahead. You can look up to the ceiling. Take 1 more breath. And then inhale, lift back up. And we're going to take 1 balance here. So step your left foot up a little bit. Right leg. So keep your left hand on your hip, your right hand on your knee, and then you're going to lift the back leg. If you can't straighten the front leg, that's okay. Try to find some balance, so not too far forward, not too far back. And if you've mastered that, let your right hand just hang towards the floor. Find a gaze point directly under the fingertips. Take 1 more breath. And see with control if you can bring the back foot to land. Perfect. Good. Face both feet forward. Take your hands to your lower back. Lift your chest. And exhale, hands wide, slide your hands down your legs. Hang there. Take a couple of breaths. And then inhale, come back up. So left foot out, right foot out. Warrior 2 on the other side. So bend the left leg, take your hands out, relax your shoulders. So the legs are strong, the legs are grounded, and the upper body is light. Relax your shoulders and just gaze over your left middle finger. Take another 2 breaths. Maybe just glance at your back hand and see what that's doing. And then hand down your leg, right hand down, left hand up and back. And now take your breath into your left side. You can look up, you can look down, and then come back up. Side angle on the left, elbow to knee. Right hand on your hip, and just gently to elbow. So the elbow is pushing back, so that way, and your knee is pushing in. You may feel a little bit of work going on in the hip, and then just find a middle ground where there's no push, there's no pull. Either keep your hand on your hip, or sweep it into side angle. Hold that. You can look straight ahead, you can look down, or you can look up. Noticing what feels right for you today. Take another breath. And then inhale, lift back up. We're going to do the balance on the left side. So step your right foot up a little bit. Half moon balance. Right hand on your hip, left hand on your knee. Lift. And gaze at a spot on the floor. My balance isn't so good today on this side. If you feel you've mastered that, let your left hand hang. Breathe. Keep focused on the balance. 1 more breath. And then lower with control. That's the standing. Step back to the top of your mat. Feet about hip width apart. Take your hands behind you. Bend down like you're sitting in a chair. And reach your hands up. Hold that. Just to give you a little challenge for today. See if you can go lower, 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 lower. Some of you might want to just sit down now. Lower, lower, sit, and lie back. All right, come to the floor. You're going to take your feet out wide. So let them go as wide as they can. Now this is where the block or the blanket can come in a little high. If you really feel quite rounded, then you can pop the block or bolster underneath your bottom, and that will just lift you a little bit. So with a nice wide leg, take your left hand and slide it through, and your right hand. We're not going down the leg, going out to the side. So lean over, and here we're going to use the strength of your torso. One hand going one way, one hand going the opposite direction. Stay with the breath. This one's a little harder. Take another breath. And then lift up. Change sides. Reach over. Breathe. No hands touching. No hands supporting. Just the strength of your torso. Take one more breath. And then lift. Back up. Bring your legs together. Come off it. And then just twist. Side to side. I have no idea how long we've been going for. I better just check. Let me just see here. How are we doing? Oh, 26. I'm going to stop in just a second. So from here, you're going to come to the floor. So then lie back. Take yourself onto your back. And come back to that reclined child's pose where we started at the beginning. And then pop your feet to the floor. Now, you might want to just watch what I do here before I talk through it. So bring your feet together. And then let your hips shimmy to the left. So from the middle, lift and shimmy to the left. And then let your knees drop down. And then your hip and your shoulder are roughly in line. If you don't shimmy, your legs will be over to the right somewhere. So feet together, lift your hips, shimmy to the left, and let them drop to the right. Take your right hand, pop it on your left thigh, and now, depending on your shoulder, if you are very internally rotated, it can be quite challenging to get that shoulder to the floor. If you are like that, just let your hand rest on your chest and just focus on an upper back twist. If your shoulder is quite comfortable lying back here, you can extend out and just come back to your breath now. Big breath in, big breath out. Now maybe for some of you, you're used to going very quickly. Maybe used to sweating a lot in sessions, and maybe that's what you go by as to whether you've worked hard or not hard. Yoga here is very different, and today might feel a little bit stop and start. But as you get better at understanding the postures and how they fit together, it starts to become very meditative. Yeah. Take one more breath. The pose tends to start when you're ready to come out of it. When we're ready to move to the next thing. Not yet. Take one more breath. And then come to the middle. Pop your feet back together. Lift your hips. Shimmy to the right. Let the legs drop to the left. Left hand on your right side. And then again, twist. Maybe your right hand goes out. Maybe it doesn't. Whatever feels right for you. And breathe. You might want to close your eyes here. You might want to keep them open. Those of you who I know already, I think Fiona Trapp is on here. Maybe Sally, I'm not sure. Some of the people I know already. Thank you for joining me. Those of you who I haven't met, take another 2 breaths. And then release, come back to the middle. Lift your hips, pop them down again. And then to finish, if you've got your bolster or your block or your cushion, just roll it up. Now this pose here today, is the one that I wanted to really bring in, because it's going to open your chest. When we tend to feel a little stressed or anxious, we tend to close. So today I want to open the opposite direction. So get your block, your bolster. If you haven't got one, just lie back, it's fine. But if you have one, just pop it under around your shoulder blade area. Let your head drop back, and then let your hands drop to the sides. You can let your knees just touch, and then breathe. Where your chest is a little bit lifted, this is a supported fish. And here, just breathe. Your diaphragm is really like, because you're in a back bend, a slight back bend, it's kind of a different sensation of breathing. It might feel a little bit harder. That's fine, just breathe there. We've just got one more breath. And then to come off, just lift yourself off. Just take the block out, lie back, hug your knees. We are nearly finished. I think I've gone a little bit over. Let your legs go out. Now, if this is not comfortable to lie down, just bend your knees and let your knees just touch. Let your hands rest about 6 to 8 inches from your body. And just be. Come back to your breath. The rise and fall of your chest and belly. We're going to take 2 more breaths. And then hand on your knees, a couple of circles. And then we're going to rock to seated, or if that's not okay, just roll and sit. Bring yourself to cross leg or legs out. Sit tall. Just take a second again to notice how you feel. So when we control our breath, nobody can steal our peace. I usually close a class with just a little bit of gratitude and a little ritual that I do. If you don't want to do this, this is fine. But I bring my hands to my third eye, kind thoughts, hands to lips, kind words, hands to heart center, kind actions. And maybe take a second to send your practice out to those who might need it today. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to stop the video now. If you have any questions, anything, send me a message and I will try my best to answer. Thank you.